Hey everybody, I'm Ellen here at Etrailer.com, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the REDARC Tow-Pro Elite brake controller. This is a kind of different style of brake controller for your vehicle. It's been around for a little while. This is kind of a new and updated version of that same brake controller. So the thing that's different about this one versus the previous version is that the control knob, this little guy here, is a little bit smaller now. That makes it easier to get it installed. Before, people were having a hard time finding a spot where this could go back into their dash without running into other components. So now it's about a ½ inch shorter, should make it a little bit easier to get that in place. And then the wiring that goes from that little knob to the main unit is a upgraded version. This is an automotive style wiring, so it should last longer and be a bit more hardy. Now, as far as the actual features of this, if you're not already familiar with the REDARC Tow-Pro, is that it is a proportional brake controller. It works for 1 up to 3 axles, and it gives you a lot of the same features as any kind of other brake controller out there on the market. Again, since it's a proportional brake controller, it's going to apply the same amount of braking force that you're putting on the brakes in your vehicle to your trailer. So if you're coming to a sudden stop, it's going to sense that amount of stoppage or that deceleration from your vehicle and apply the brakes accordingly in your trailer. If you're coming to a gradual stop, same thing. It's going to apply a gradual force to your trailer. Now, the thing that's nice about this one is that it also has a user-controlled mode. So if you're going to be going off-road and you want to be able to have complete control over the brakes for your trailer, it allows you to do that, which is something that a lot of brake controllers don't allow you to do. So that's kind of nice. It is designed for that in mind, so it gives you kind of the best of both worlds as far as being proportional when you want it to be, or user-controlled when you want that as well. It still gives you a manual override. So if something happens with your trailer, it starts to sway or kind of jackknife out of control behind you and you need to apply the brakes for the trailer, but you don't want to apply them in your vehicle, you can press the button and bring that to a stop and get that tracking along behind you again. The nice thing about this as well is that since it's separated into 2 pieces, the main unit that has the accelerometer and the sensor to run the whole thing, you can put this in an easy spot pretty much anywhere on your vehicle, just as long as it's in a nice stable area. But then the control unit is actually this little tiny knob. So this is really easy to install anywhere. Once it's in place, it can be as little as this. That's all you really have to see. So you can put this on your center console, down here by your gear shifter. You can put it kind of up by the media center if you've got some empty little bezels like near your hazards or anything like that that are already in place. You can mount it to that. You can put it near your steering column, left or right side, and you don't have to worry about whacking your knee against your brake controller ever again, because that's a big problem with a lot of brake controllers out there, is that they can be kind of bulky and hard to find a spot for, and they can be in the way, and you can whack your knee, and that's never fun. So that's definitely a nice thing about this. It looks really slick once it's installed. It does also come with its own little bezel, so if you don't have a blank one in your vehicle or you just don't want to use it, it's not in a spot that you'd want to, you can use this instead. If you are going to be using an existing bezel, or if you just want to go directly into the dash material somewhere, you can use this little sticker to kind of give you the indicator of where you want to line up the numbers so you can see all that. So let's take a little closer look at all the components. This is everything that you get with the kit. So you get the main unit, which is this guy here. You get the wiring to go between the main unit and the control knob. The bezel, as I mentioned, sticker if you need it, and then the wiring to go from the main unit to your vehicle. Now, this is a universal wiring, so it does require hard splicing into your system. If you don't already have brake control wiring, this is a pretty typical setup. It's the 4 wires that you need. So you've got the white for ground, black for 12-volt power, red for your braking force, and then blue for your output to your trailer brakes. A lot of vehicles will have a wiring harness custom fit for their vehicle, so you can swap this out for custom wiring. There are also wiring adapters for the main brake controller brands, whether that's Takancha, Kurt, Hopkins, or any of the others, so you can use that with this unit as well. Those are all sold separately here at etrailer.com, so if one of those is available, I would highly suggest doing that, because then it's just a plug-and-play application. But if you don't have that option, this will still work. It's just going to be a little bit more steps to get this installed, but this is the universal wiring that comes with it. So that's pretty much the install. There's more details as far as how to get this guy in place or how to do that, but it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to have to drill out a little hole for either the knob to go in or the bezel to fit in place. This would require an inch hole saw to do that, or you'd need about a 3/8 of an inch hole to get this to get this one installed. I think it's actually 25/64 if we want to get really technical there, but should be pretty straightforward as far as that install goes. Gives you a really reliable brake controller. It does come with instructions that have pretty good layout of all the steps. Has a good troubleshooting guide in here as well, and then there's also another guide for getting that bezel installed separately. So pretty good instructions as far as that goes. Sometimes they're not always the best, but theirs is actually pretty good. So I hope that this has helped in deciding if this is the right brake controller for you. I think it looks really nice. It works really well. Customers love it because it gives them a lot more freedom to choose where to place that knob, just as long as it's out of the way of any other kind of wiring. So I think that this is going to make a great option for just about anybody out there. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about with you today. So again, I hope that this has been helpful. We do have a lot of other accessories and a whole bunch of information on all kinds of brake controllers and towing accessories here at Etrailer.com, so be sure to check those out, and thanks for watching.